Welcome back to Let's Hear It for Spirits. This is the podcast where we don't just talk about haunted stuff, we actively disrespect the spiritual realm with cocktails. I'm your haunted bartender, Dylan.
And I'm the other bartender, Austin. The guy who apparently thinks playing the cursed game at midnight is a hobby and not a warning sign. Let's probably listen to those signs sometimes.
I think so. And tonight, we normally did one episode in the start. We started doing two episodes, and we actually kind of like the vibe for it. So I think we're going to go ahead and continue with that. We'd love to hear your feedback on that. But tonight, I am covering the black-eyed children, those pale little weirdos who keep showing up on your porch like they're trying to borrow something.
I swear, man, I thought you were talking about the Black Eyed Peas when you first introduced that story.
Ha!
You're gonna invite the band over here to cover it, man? All right, get some
Let's
action
get
going.
it started and ha! Let's get it started in here.
So, anyways, guys, I'll also be diving into the Midnight Man, a ritual that involves lighting a candle, walking around in the dark, and not getting bodied by a shadow. I mean, it figures, right? You invite a shadowy spirit to your home, and you're just playing hide and seek. Nothing could go wrong with that, right? Totally fucking normal.
And of course, we brought some themed drinks because what's a little summoning without a little sipping? I'm serving up the let us in shot, by the way. I'm gonna do a shot today. It's dark, smooth, layered, and it stares back at you just like those kids do.
You mean like the band, the Black Eyed Peas? I swear to God, man, I think you're just starting a band secretly.
Yeah.
And for my drink tonight, guys, mine's gonna be called the Knockout Midnight. It's got a little bit of black vodka, a little splash of cranberry, and you type of garnish, whatever you want to add for that garnish right there. But if you're gonna be going to some of the Midnight Man, you might as well drink a little bit more. You might as well enjoy the night because that candle burns out. You ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and light those candles, triple check your locks, and maybe don't answer the door tonight unless it's pizza. Or
Well, I did over Uber Eats, in which
Ooh.
case you better tip before the entity does.
definitely. And in this bar, every ghost
The ghost
deserves a toast.
deserves a toast.
Oh my god. We
Yes!
practiced. We practiced.
We got it.
We
We got it.
Did we?
We
I
fucking
think we
got
did.
it.
Oh, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Or let us know at letshearforspirits@gmail.com. That's right. We got a Gmail now. Please let us know or let us know on Instagram.
Please let us know.
Please let us know.
Please let us know.
Just real quick, on my themed drink, I just want to let you guys know. I didn't really mention my themed drink tonight, but here it is. Mine is going to be the let us in because, once again, we like to go ahead and make themed drinks based on what we're talking about today. And mine's very simple. It's just a shot. Mine's going to be 1/2 ounce coffee liqueur, and then it's going to be a 1/2 ounce Irish cream, and then just a drop
Ooh.
of black food coloring. And you can just mix that together. And pretty much it's just a shot, straight and simple. But please drink it with us as you're listening. And do you want to go in more detail on your drink, or you just want to?
I guess I give out more of the ingredients right there. So, like, again, I guess I'll give you a more defined build for it if you gonna want to get ready for it. Like I said, you're gonna be summoning the Midnight Man. You're gonna need
ready. I'm ready.
it. So, anyways, we're gonna start with a little bit of a 2-ounce black vodka or regular vodka, any type you want to do. 1 ounce blackberry or black currant liquor for give that mysterious dark deep flavor. 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice. Try to hint of that sharpness and contrast, just a little bit right there. Little 1/2 ounce of elderflower syrup, for that ethereal touch, because you're gonna be summoning the Midnight Man. A few fresh blackberries or a black grape for garnish. And for even dramatic effect to make it even more spooky for tonight for the story that you're gonna be hearing, a little bit of dry ice. Just to give it that dramatic effect, just to be chilling next to you.
Oh, I like me some dry ice, but don't touch it with your hands.
No, definitely. Lick it. I didn't say you lick it.
Pause. So, before we get into all our stories, of course, we like to talk about like a little bit of paranormal things happening, recently. Or just things that are happening right now in life. We just like to discuss a little bit. But pretty much I haven't heard anything else on that Annabelle. That thing's weird to me. I mean,
Is it weird to you?
yeah.
I keep hearing different things about it. That they found her, they didn't find her. They found her, they didn't find her. But people post pictures and everything, and then I see these pictures. I'm just like, but that's not the same thing at all. It's a totally, completely different fucking Annabelle doll. Because there's so many replicas out there, you don't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still believe that there's possibly a cult around all that, kind of chasing after that doll.
I think so. I
Because
think it's a weird story.
so there's this TikTok I've been watching. I think I sent you the video before. He literally talks to a spirit. I can't confirm how real it is. I can't tell you how real it is. I'm not gonna say it's real because I don't have proof on it. It's literally based off this man's machine, whatever he uses. Well, either way, it says certain stuff. It's hasn't showed up on my TikTok before. It showed up on TikTok out of nowhere after the whole Annabelle thing started. And evidently this spirit gives answers to like what's going on, how evil the Annabelle doll is, certain types of darkness. It's crazy. Like it's a crazy TikTok just explaining paranormal experiences. And it's kind of wild because it kind of predicts the future just a little bit. I'm not saying it does, but just a tiny bit. It kind of sees what's going on. So it's really hard to confirm if it's real or not. But everyone has their opinion on that, so it's up and down.
Seeing from what I was reading,
It's his machine.
the Annabelle thing was actually apparently never missing. So I did read up some stuff on that, and they were saying that it was never missing to begin with. It was just like a marketing scheme. But I mean, shit, I'd rather see those kind of TikToks. I'm tired of seeing fucking 5 big booms on my page.
That big booms. Oh, you're not getting the Labubu's no more?
No, no more Labubu's. Just boom.
No more Labubu's?
Boom.
Because now ever since you brought out the Labubu's the last time, now my TikTok's full of Labubu's.
You know what? We just bought one more recently.
You're telling me you're getting tired of Labubu's and you're over here buying Labubu's?
I'm tired of them. My wife, on the other hand, is not.
You're buying all the Labubu's.
Yeah, and it's like the shittiest lottery ever. Because I don't know what's good, what's not good. And you know, like, I'm like, cool, we got the green one. And they're like, no, that one has a name. It's like iced mocha, like matcha latte. It's a complicated Starbucks order. But,
A complicated Starbucks order.
yeah.
Is it that bad, really, for an order of Labubu?
Have you not seen them? Like, every time you pull them out of the box, they come with a card, which I've recently found out. If they don't come with a card, they're not real. They're not legit. They're lafufus, which I don't think it matters. I don't...
They're lafufus.
They're lafufus.
They're lafufu. Lafufu.
Where's the haunted dolls? The mystery haunted dolls. That'd be cool.
Go check your local town. I'm pretty sure they got plenty.
Yeah, we need to put them all in boxes.
That's crazy. The Lafufus and Labubus.
But when we were
I
out
know about
shopping,
the Labubus.
Go ahead.
I never did there were Lafufus.
Yeah, I was gonna say when we were out shopping too, I noticed, by the way, everyone, I am in El Paso, and I was gonna say I was passing by a few haunted places, and I'm like, there's so many abandoned, like, haunted places here in El Paso. It's crazy. And I'm like, one day, if this blows up, we should just buy one of those places.
Just buy it?
Yeah, I just want to own a piece of like haunted history, and then like do some sort of like ghost tour, haunted museum.
Hey, we could play the midnight game there.
Yeah, we should do the podcast out of there.
Oh, I am so down. Live podcast? Hell yeah.
Right.
No more chibi form.
Yeah. But
I'm so down for that.
That's what I noticed, and I'm like, man, one day we will get it.
We can only hope.
But you ready for your story?
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get that place, and it's gonna just fucking be haunted like crazy, and we're gonna be like, maybe we should not have gotten this.
No, I'm all for it.
All right. We've stalled long enough. Sorry, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the story. Today, I'll be the one saying the first one, as Dylan went first last time. We take turns on this one.
Curious. I'm super curious on yours, actually. I've never heard of this in my life, and once you told me that we have to have like a warning before, I was like, oh, okay. I don't know.
So to get started, yes, I am gonna give you a warning. And the reason why I'm gonna give the warning is because I'm actually gonna tell you how to do the ritual. I was really contemplating if I should just leave out one of the rules, but seriously, don't play this game. There's been cases where people have gone missing. There's been cases where people gotten hurt. There's just a lot of cases that people just kind of lost their minds. There's a lot to this game. It's not safe. It's really not. It's made to mess with your head, and it's in the dark a lot. So if you're scared of the dark or anything like that, if you play with friends, you could say it's a little bit more safer. But there have been stories out there that it goes after both of you, whether you're far away or not. It's gonna come after you. It's not gonna kill you. But I'm just saying, don't play the game. Don't do it. Please don't do it. It's not worth it. This is all for fun and games, but I am going to say the ritual. And I'm just going to trust you guys. Don't play it. Deal? Deal.
Yeah, there you go. If he starts speaking Latin backwards, then you know he started the ritual.
Okay, so let's go ahead and dig into this whole midnight game. First, it actually was a myth. Because honestly, its true origins are pretty much a mystery. There's actually no ancient manuscript or secret behind it. Instead, it's a modern legend that's really exploded on the internet. Experts agree the Midnight Game is a product of our digital age, which got brought up when the internet started going up there. So when everything started circling around horror forums to Reddit threads and creepy stories, one of these stories that evolved over time, kind of like a spooky urban myth. This one just tend to pass around because it's a ritual, and that's what kind of like back in the 2000s, 2005s, earlier. It was a little bit more like when we heard rituals and myths, we kind of like, oh, I want to try that out. Like, you know what I mean, right, Dylan?
Yeah, I remember all that stuff. You said it was in 2005?
Around the 2000s, 2005 area, when technology was still getting pretty much up there,
Oh, I remember that for sure. I definitely remember that.
It was back when we actually had to go out in the world and talk to each other.
Yeah.
And meet up at everyone's houses on our little bicycles. We didn't have a text message machine to tell us like, hey, I'll meet you here at 12. We actually had to set a schedule. We're like, yo, bro, I'll meet you at the park like around 4 p.m. Sound good? Yeah, sounds good, bro. And then we just had to trust each other that we'd be there at 4 p.m.
Oh yeah, it was so awkward too when it was like, you text somebody, meet me at this park, right? But you forgot to mention where. So you're hoping
Yes.
that they're just meeting you in the same spot.
And it's only because everything used to cost money back then. No unlimited stuff.
Right, I remember calling after 9.
I think that was all of us. Like, hey, just call me after 9. Why? Because it's free. Oh, okay, cool. Got you.
You on my Fave Fives?
That's right. Okay, so why did this game become so popular? It was inspired by old superstitions about spirits, curses, and with the mother test, it was a kind of like a test of bravery, like a test of courage and everything like that. Except this one was designed to summon something that you probably shouldn't mess with. The internet made it easy to spread, copy, and even modify. So this game has probably been changed so many times, but the ritual I'm going to give you is probably not the one, probably the same one. So I'm going to go ahead and share some stories from the people who claim to they have played this midnight game. They're pretty intense, so buckle up. I'm not going to give you no names. So I'm not going to...
Oh.
I don't want you to go find these people and be like, hey, is that true?
Wow.
So I'm just going to go ahead and wait on that.
All right.
So the first story I have right here is pretty short. And it starts off with, I found the instructions online and thought, how bad could it be? I started the game at midnight. Everything was normal at first. Lighting candles, repeating the steps, but then I felt a sudden drop in temperature, like stepping into a freezer. My candle flickered violently, and I saw shadows starting in the corners of the room. I kept going, but then I swear I saw a dark figure staring at me through the window. When I finally blew out the candle, I felt a heavy, oppressive presence in the room. I haven't slept since, and I swear I hear footsteps sometimes when I'm alone. See, stuff like this is kind of where the roles kind of take place. I know you guys are probably wondering why I haven't given the rules yet. I'm gonna give you the rules after the stories because I really want you to think about this. If you do try to play it, I really want you to know what you're getting yourself into.
Wait,
So
wait.
that's another.
So I have a quick question. So the Midnight Man is like a form of entities? Like it's a few of them, or it's just like one solid?
It's one solid entity. It's literally a demon. It could be a demon, a spirit, anything that I guess your mind kind of wants to mess with you on it. You know,
Right? Because you were saying that
there's
there was like
no
multiple shadows.
multiple shells. Yeah, because it's messing with his head. The whole point
Oh shit.
of the game is to. I'm gonna give you a little secret. The whole point of the game is to keep your candle going until a certain time. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Let me go ahead and tell you the second story about the Midnight Game. Okay. So the second story states I did the Midnight Game alone in my house, thinking it would be a fun scare. About an hour after I finished, I kept hearing footsteps upstairs. No one else was home. Then I saw a shadowy figure in the hallway, just standing there staring at me. I turned on all the lights, but it was gone. That night, I felt a cold wind brush past me, even though all the windows were closed. I never tried it again, but I still get chills thinking about it. See, all these people are experiencing a shadow man, shadow figure, shadow creature. That's the Midnight Man himself. Like I said, a lot of experiences could be different. There's been known cases for missing people. We don't know it's prior to that game. We don't know if it's been like that. There's no really confirmation on it. It's just a myth right now. But the ritual is still out there.
So it seems like even after doing the ritual, right? Like how long would it keep haunting you, or is it just like temporary? Is it done when the candles are out? It sounds like it still keeps messing with you like
So
after.
it's supposed to keep haunting you until it evidently kind of like makes you kind of go a little bit insane. It really does mess with your head. And since you're the one starting the ritual, you're the one doing the game in the dark, you know what you're getting yourself into. And I guess we're all daredevils if you're doing the ritual like that because you really know that it's dangerous. So, in a way, you kind of ask for it, you know? So, that's why he's going to kind of mess with you and he's going to haunt you for the not the rest of your life. He might leave you alone. Not totally sure on that part, but it's really all up to him. He is a demon or a spirit
He
or
just
some type
chooses.
of entity. We just
He
never know.
chooses when he's done.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what they say, spirits feed on energy. Hey, he's probably just chilling. He's like, hell
Yeah.
yeah, free buffet.
He's just gonna charge off of you for a bit.
So the third story I have here, this one starts off with my friend and I decided to do the game together. During the ritual, I kept hearing whispering voices telling me to stop, but I pushed forward. When I blew out the candle, everything went dead silent. Then I felt something heavy pressing down on my chest, like I was being suffocated. I looked around, but no one was there. The next morning, I found strange scratch marks on my doorframe, and I couldn't sleep for days. My friend swears he saw a dark figure in the corner of his room. That night, something he's never been able to explain. So this is where, that's why I mentioned that even though you play with your friends, he's going after both of you. It's you are both involved in the game. So I'm just gonna say it now. If you have family members in that house that you're trying to play the game with, warn them. Because as soon as you start the game, they're in the game. They're a part of it, whether they like it or not.
So
Everyone's in the game.
anybody in that house is like part of
Anybody
it.
in that house. Yes.
Oh, hear me out, right? Busy, crowded mall. Not just
Oh,
Good luck,
yo.
everyone.
Yo. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, that'll
Sucks
be
to
the most
suck.
intense game of hide and seek ever. He's gonna be like, holy shit.
Oh man, that would be pretty
All right.
intense.
So, before I get into even the darker stuff about the reported missing people and the strange encounters that people have gone through, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the ritual now. I just want you to, I'm gonna give you another warning again. Don't do the ritual. It's not worth it. If you're a daredevil, have fun, but follow the rules. Okay? So, here's the first rule. You're gonna start the game prior to midnight. 2, you're gonna write your full name, first, middle, and last, on a piece of paper with a pencil and pen. You're gonna prick your finger with the pen and squeeze until a drop of blood appears. Dot the blood on the paper and allow it to soak in. Turn off every light in your home. 4, place the paper with your name and blood in front of the closed wooden door or any type of front door that you have. Light the candle using the matches or the lighter and place it on top of the paper. If you're using a taper, make sure it is placed on the candle holder. I know you're probably wondering why I didn't say 3. 3 was actually turn off every light in your home.
Oh, okay.
That's the third step. The 5th rule is knock on the door 22 times where you put the piece of paper with your name on it and the candle. Knock on the door 22 times. The final knock must occur precisely when the clock chimes 12 a.m. Open the door, then blow out the candle and close the door. This is where the game starts. Relight your candle immediately. As soon as you relight your candle immediately, this is the rules that are going to keep you alive until it's time. Keeping your candle in your hand and your salt and matches or lighter close by, begin to move about your home. Should your candle go out, you must relight it within the next 10 seconds. If you are successful, continue moving about your home. Do not stop moving. I'm going to repeat, do not stop moving. Keep that candle lit and keep hiding. You cannot let him find you. You got until 3:33 a.m. and that is when the game ends. Now, if you are unsuccessful in relighting that candle, immediately surround yourself with a circle of salt. Remain inside that circle until 3:33 a.m. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a pleasant time. He's gonna know where you're at. He's gonna see where you are. He won't be able to hurt you, but he's gonna do everything to convince you to leave that salt circle. He's gonna do everything in his power to trick you, to make you move out of that salt. Everything in his power to get you to leave that salt. He wants you to lose the game, no matter what, at all costs. That's only if you're unsuccessful in relighting your candle. And if you reach to 3:33 a.m. with no problems, it's safe. You can stop moving, or you can step outside your circle. You can turn on the lights, and the game is over. Congratulations, you just won the midnight game.
That's a long ass game. 3 hours, 33 minutes?
Yeah,
Look,
of just playing hide and seek.
guys, I got a good idea, right? Hear me out. If you pile up episode 1 through 4, you could listen to it while you're in the salt circle, and you could get distracted for 3 hours and 33 minutes, roughly. We got you. Listen to us for about 3 hours and 33 minutes.
We got you. In fact, I'll be nice. I could throw in some cheats. How about that? Because there's actual additional notes from people that actually played the game itself. Should I do that, Dylan? Or should I let them find out on their own?
It's your call. But I'm telling you now, if you got time to play a 3 hour, 33 minute game, jeez, man. That's already
Okay.
torture itself.
So I'm gonna go ahead. It's where it's gonna get a little creepy. I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you what happens when he actually catches you. Not confirming this is what happens, but it's kind of what goes on if he does catch you. So one of the main ones that befalls a player or players, if you have more than one player there, is he will claim to induce you an hallucination of your worst fear until the end of the game. So if you're afraid of drowning, guess what? You're gonna be in the pool drowning until 3:33 a.m.
You say drowning pool?
Or here, yeah, there you go, drowning pool. He's gonna just have that band playing in your ear the entire time. Let the bodies hit the floor. Another one is he's gonna claim to remove your organs one by one. I'm not gonna lie, you should probably avoid these outcomes at all costs. Maybe think happy thoughts when he catches you. Get tortured by the girl you like. I don't know. Think something positive. I don't know. Have a puppy come in and attack you and lick you to death until 3:33 a.m.
You said have the girl you like torture you?
Something, man. Get some positivity going on.
Oh man, I was like, is this the liquor or is this you actually asking or saying that?
No, it's the liquor talking.
Oh man.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give you some little tips on it. If you do play the game itself, like I said, I do not recommend you play it. In indications that the Midnight Man is near, there's gonna be some certain signs. If you play Phasmophobia, you're gonna be able to notice these signs. Sudden drops in temperature, the sound of a soft whisper with no discernible source, the appearance of a humanoid figure within the darkness, and the most obvious one, the candle going out. Should you experience any of these first three occurrences, leave the area immediately. Should you experience the fourth occurrence where your candle goes out, follow the previous given instructions that I gave you. Please relight the candle. Motherfucker, if you watch SpongeBob, throw that salt circle around you. It kept the bear out. It'll keep him out.
A lot of salt got in.
But other than that, guys, the Midnight Game, or in other terms, the Midnight Man, is a game not to be taken very lightly. If you do play it, I wish you good luck, and I wish you the best to win the game. There's no prizes. Your prize is your life and the experience, I guess, to do it. If you want to hear the darker side, get a little bit more darker about the reports of missing people. I cannot quite find the names of these people, so I'm not really sure if it's really been confirmed or not. But in some online forums and paranormal reports, people that claim that those who try the ritual either disappear completely or are found with no memory of what happened. Some reports tell of missing persons who were last seen near their homes late at night after attempting to play the game or similar rituals. There are stories from people who say friends or family members started acting strange after trying the game, sleeping restlessly, seeing dark figures, or even leaving town immediately with no explanation. Some believe that trying to summon spirits or entities can attract real dangerous forces that you don't want to be disturbed. One particularly chilling report involves a person who did the ritual alone, and the next morning their house was completely empty. No sign of forced entry or theft. The only thing left was an unexplained cold breeze and a faint whispering echo in the empty house. The cold breeze could just be the AC being left on, I'm just saying, you know? But the whispering echo in the empty house is kind of a little creepy on that end right there.
I'm pretty sure that's rent.
Well, these... there you go. Yeah, Ren is just walking around, moving all his shit.
They gotta take their shit back.
God damn, man. Sorry, that was just taking a sip. Woo!
Strong drink, huh?
Well, these stories are hard to verify. It can still have a little bit of real world feel. Like I said, I tried my best to find the names, and I couldn't. I really couldn't. But that's why I'm telling you guys, be careful out there if you do play this game. It's a full-on warning, okay? I'm really not trying to scare you into never sleeping again, but seriously, don't try this at home. Listen to the stories, listen to the reports I've given you, listen to the rules, okay? And always remember, I said it before, right now, if you're trying to summon spirits or entities, they can attract real dangerous forces that do not want to be disturbed. So, like I said, play this game at your own risk. I gave you all the rules. I gave you the ritual. Trusting y'all. So, like I said, good luck to you guys. Again, the game is called The Midnight Man, The Midnight Game.
We even gave you guys the drink.
Yeah. Wood dry eyes for dramatic effect.
Oh yeah. Maybe if you offer him the drink, he'll go away.
Throw some liquor at him.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, it's a real interesting story. There's a lot more rituals out there I'm gonna probably be doing on our little podcast here, just so you guys are really interested. Again, I will be doing warnings. If I do deem this ritual to be a little bit too dangerous, I will not give out the rules. I will not. Even if I find all the rules, I will not give out the rules. I'll read 1, 2, skip 3, go to 4, and skip 5. So just a heads up. If it's too dangerous, I'm not gonna give you the rules. So y'all have been warned. Again. But please, I know I keep saying it. If you play this game, be careful. Okay? Drink some alcohol.
And throw that salt in
carry
a
salt around.
circle. Yeah. Throw that salt in a circle. Yeah, that's how that
In
one song
fact,
goes,
Dylan's
right?
gonna volunteer to play the game for us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
See, about that,
Oh.
every candle actually just disappeared out of my house.
Oh yeah,
And
really?
I don't have doors. I don't
Oh,
have
it's okay,
doors.
It's okay, bro. I got you, man. I got you a door and I got you some candles, man.
Oh, I could only do like Bath and Body Work candles.
Oh, perfect, man. That means the candle will never go out.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm allergic to doors.
Oh man, that sucks. I'll go ahead and get those hypoallergenic doors.
I don't live in a house anymore.
Oh, it's even better. Hide and seek outside?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll pass on that. But you bring me drinks. Bring me tons of drinks. Bring me salt.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah. I'll bring you tons of drinks with salt, candles, and the door.
Damn, are you shopping for me?
Yeah. We're gonna play this game together, man. Hang around.
Oh yeah.
But guys, that's pretty much the full ritual right there. Like I said, I really do wish y'all good luck if you do play the game. And if you do play the game, we got a Gmail at let's.hears.spirit@gmail.com. Send me your stories. If you did do it, let me know how you did. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you disappear? Maybe you're a ghost. Let me know. Or let Dylan know. He's
Yeah.
gonna be doing the game too.
If you're just sending stuff in the Gmail for me, just send me pictures of your cats. That's all I care about.
You guys heard them. Send them all the cat pics.
Send those cat pics.
As for me, guys, we're gonna go ahead and let Dylan continue on with the story about the black-eyed peas. I'm sorry, black-eyed children.
There you go. All right. So for my story, guys, we are talking about the black-eyed children, and I've looked up so many different stories, so many different, I guess, how can I say it? Just theories, and everything seemed very different on the time frame. Some referring back to 1950 was where it started, some saying back in 1996. I mean, I've heard stories of it in Texas, stories of it in the UK. It all varies. But I mean, if you have more to add on, I'd love to hear it at letshearitforspirits@gmail.com, and just explain to you a little bit about the black-eyed children, what people believe that they are. But
Hear the black-eyed peas music. Down, 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 down.
But let me set the scene for you guys. All right. So it's a cold night, maybe in October, maybe in January, depending on which version of the story that you're reading. You're in your home, warm, maybe watching reruns, maybe just scrolling through TikTok. There's a knock at your door. Not a loud, aggressive knock. Not the desperate, I'm being chased by something knock either. It's polite, rhythmic,
There's a knock for that.
calculated. You open the door. Standing before you are two children. They look kind of outdated. Their clothing is really different. Like maybe Goodwill had a time machine. But they don't smile. They don't fidget. They speak in almost like a robotic voice.
We need to use your phone. Can we come in?
And then you notice it. Their eyes. Not brown, not blue, not hazel. Black. Pitch black. No whites, no irises, just voids. Now, the black-eyed kids, or BEKs, as the internet has dubbed them, are one of the most infamous modern paranormal urban legends, and unlike ghosts or demons, they don't float through your walls or whisper in your dreams. No, they knock. And they show up in your driveways, parking lots, doorsteps, and sometimes outside your car window. Always asking to be let in. Always needing a ride, or always needing to use your phone to help them find their parents. Which, if you ask me, is weird as hell because I've never seen a child politely ask you to borrow a phone instead of just trying to drown it in the nearest toilet. Let's rewind to 1996. That's right, this creepy tale is younger than your friends. A Texan journalist named Brian Bethel posted a story on the internet forum. Yes, a forum back then before those social media. We're still in the wild west of dial-ups and not using Google. But Brian had claimed that he had encountered with two boys in Abilene, Texas. They approached his car while he was parked outside a movie theater. One of the boys asked for a ride to their mother's house, said they wanted to catch a showing of Mortal Kombat, but left their money at home. Something about him felt off. Brian said his body filled with unexplainable dread. It wasn't until he broke eye contact that he realized the boys had just jet black orbs for eyes. He drove away fast, heart racing, and later posted his experience online. And with that, the legend was born. From there, of course, reports began to flood in the forums. People all over the US, then the UK, then around the world, began claiming that they had too approached these eerie kids with emotionless voices and bottomless eyes. Now, typically people say that they come around the same pattern. Can you guess what time that is?
6 a.m.
Ooh, you're on the right track. 6 p.m. actually to 3 a.m. And they always ask to be let in your home, your car, and, of course, your life. They get angry if you say no, but they never force their way in. So it's kind of weird that they do that, which begs the question, are they vampires, demons, or government experiments? A lot of people believe in these different theories, and from what I've been reading, it actually does sound kind of like very on the, spectrum of like a vampire, because they're always asking to come inside. But the weird thing that I found is that they're, finding weird ways to get inside of your car, to get inside of your house. It's weird how they do it, but
it is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
because they're asking to always enter before like going, and like it's kind of like it's kind of like any kind of vampire movie or lore that most, I guess, have the movies depict it as like I need permission to go in first before I do anything.
Yeah, and I thought that was strange.
Does that mean that when they ask to borrow the phone or anything like that, is that like their way of asking for permission to come in?
I think so. Like they're trying to get you to like ask them to come in. They're waiting for you to say come inside, or please use my phone, get inside my house, get inside my car. And surprisingly, it actually has a lot of stories here in Texas, which, being from Texas, I'm like, I've never seen it personally, but they say it's usually on those long, empty Texas road drives, which, if you're from Texas, there's a lot. There, there's there's a
There's a
lot.
lot of
So
roads that are
if
long and empty.
yeah, so if you're a Texan like us, you know that there's a lot of empty roads out here, and it's just dark, pitch black. Of course, I know your main concern, right, is seeing a kid late at night, and you probably want to help him out, but it's probably best to just call authorities. And I'll get into why, because I know you want to like help them, and even if you say no to them, it gets worse. But let's talk signs. So how do you know that you're being approached by a BEK? Well, victims commonly report a strong feeling of dread or illness the moment they see them. So you just instantly feel just sick. And animals nearby, like dogs especially, just start getting violent. A lot of the BEKs speaking in weirdly formal and outdated languages, so it sounds super outdated. But they'll say like,
May we enter your domicile?
unless you're in real estate, I've never heard the word domicile. But
That's some old school stuff right there.
right,
Can I go? Can I enter your domicile, sir? Most people won't even know what that is. These
nice to be acquainted
Kidding around.
with you. But repeating requests even after being told no, almost like a script they can't break from. The longer you interact with them, the more rational that your brain screams at you to run. But let me tell you, these kids you can't shoo away with a Capri Sun and some goldfish crackers. People say that even after closing the doors, they sometimes hear tapping on the windows and find wet footprints leading away from their porch. Now,
hold on. The fact that you mentioned the Capri Suns and all that tells me that someone has tried shooing these kids away with fucking Capri Suns and snacks before.
they probably did, where they said, you know what, I'll go ahead and throw my phone outside, you make your phone call, and then just leave your phone there when you're done.
Throw the phone at them, smack
Right.
them in the face, say, here you go.
But now I know what you're thinking, Dylan, what if, a real kid just needs help and I'm out here treating him like a Hellraiser reboot? And look, valid concern. I'm not saying every weird kid at your door is a soul-sucking cryptid. Well, maybe they are, depending where you live. I'm just saying, maybe don't answer your door at 2 a.m. These kids, they're creepy. But some people believe that they've been physically affected by the BEKs because they have claims of nausea, headaches, power outages, and sudden memory loss. One woman in Vermont actually said she let BEK teens into her home because she felt bad. Big mistake. Within 30 minutes, her husband was bleeding from the nose, her cat was hiding in the cabinet, and power flickered on and off like it was auditioning for a horror movie. The kids left without saying goodbye. Days later, her husband was diagnosed with aggressive form of skin cancer. And I thought that was crazy because I want to talk to you about this actually, Austin. I thought it's weird how a lot of stories say that after seeing or interacting with these BEKs, a lot of people claim that they got cancer after it, which is really strange.
That is weird. So
Yeah.
you're telling me they just went in there and gave them cancer?
Yeah, these kids come into your house and apparently just give you cancer.
They're like, boo, cancer.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but what the hell, right? Because I've read maybe about like 16 different like variations, and people just claim to get really sick or get cancer, something like that. But no matter what, everyone that usually encounters this gets really sick. So of course, here's the plan. If you do encounter one, because I have to be like Austin, right? I have to tell you how to like save yourself from this situation. But I'm gonna say this.
Lord behold, I'm trying to help people. Sorry.
Right. I'm trying to help them too. Look, there's a lot of people in Texas, and I'm gonna say here's the plan. Don't open the door. Don't roll down the window. Don't agree to anything. If you believe in blessings, of course, and we're not judging anybody, right? Any kind of spiritual blessing that you believe in, holy water or sage, go nuts. Use the hell out of it. And most importantly, tell your friends. Spread the story because legends survive through, not fact, but through fear. Now, we need to help each other out.
I can just
But
imagine. I can imagine someone seeing these kids, just regular kids, and they get holy water tossed on them because they appeared at 2 a.m. in the morning.
look, if I saw it through my Ring doorbell, I'm not opening. I have a few stories actually. And if you kind of, read the locations of the stories and the dates, maybe you could kind of piece together like where a lot of this is happening. And I'd like to hear your theories of, what you think it is. Of course, where like the prime locations for all this is. It's a motel encounter in Oregon, and this happened back in 2012. So let's start with a man named Paul, who posted his experience on the Fringe Paranormal board back in 2012. He was staying at a roadside motel in, and excuse my pronunciation, Klamath Falls, Oregon, which is already suspicious because nothing good ever happens off a motel off the highway, especially with the flickering neon. But Paul had been driving long hours for work and decided to crash early, somewhere around 11 p.m. He was brushing his teeth when he heard 3 knocks on the door. Once again, not loud, just slow and patient. He peeked through the peephole and saw a girl maybe 10 years old standing outside. He cracks the door open and big mistake. The girl tells him,
I need to come in, and I need to wait for my parents.
Now here's where things got weird. Paul said he didn't feel scared. He felt pressured. Almost like something in his brain was foggy, and he said yes. Step in, sat down on the motel bed, and said nothing. Then that's when Paul noticed her eyes. Completely black. Glossy, no whites, just the void. And he panicked and asked her to leave. She didn't move. Then she said,
They'll be here soon.
and as if on cue, the lights in the motel flickered and Paul's nose started bleeding. He blacked out, I guess when he got back out of like this, how do I say it, like almost hypnotizing like effect. He came back to his senses and she was gone, and there was no sign of her outside, not even footprints, just blood on the pillow and massive migraine.
You get cancer?
He probably did. But I mean, there are actually like instances where people let them in and like they're just found dead. They just don't know what happened, but people say that, they also seen these kids knocking on that door. They went inside or something, and then the next day they found that person dead.
Man, this probably scaring a lot of you. I got chills tonight, folks. I got
Yeah.
chills tonight. We got the Midnight Man, and now we got Black Eyed Children.
Oh yeah. And I have a
Man,
few more. So I have 2 more stories for you guys on that, and then of course I have my theories. Now, story number 2, of course, this one comes from Ohio, because nothing good comes out of Ohio. I'm just joking. But 2008, this one comes from a guy named Mitch. He was working graveyard shift at a gas station in Ohio, somewhere off of Route 33. Now, this is back in 2008, like I mentioned, at 2:30 a.m. He's alone, stocking Red Bulls and regretting his life choices, of course, when a young boy comes in. Now, no car pulls up, no sounds of footsteps, just appears. Kid walks up to the counter and says,
It's cold. Let me in your car.
the guy says, what? Mitch laughs and tells the kid to go home, thinking it's a prank. But then the kid says,
I can't go unless I'm invited.
and when Mitch looks at him, he sees his eyes, all black. Mitch runs to the office, locks the door, and watches the CCTV. And as the kid just stands there for almost 10 minutes, doesn't move, doesn't blink, then just walks away. Now, police check the footage later, and here's the weird part. The camera actually glitched out for those 10 minutes. No kid visible, just static. But
it's almost like they're. It's almost like these kids predict something. Like like something happens to these people, and it's like those kids are just like, yeah, but it's almost like they're the angel of death in a way. They're like going there, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
And
like it's their job to trick you into being like, yeah, like let me help you out, like you know what I mean?
right. But what I thought was weird about that one is he came into the gas station without being invited. So it almost makes you wonder, does this has to be like your personal property that they have to get invited into?
Maybe there's rules. Probably it does have to be that way because think about it. He went into the gas station and he asked to get into his car, which is that man's personal property. So why go into a gas station that's owned by someone out there, but go after one person that's already in there and go after
Right.
their one single property? So what was that kid gonna do if that guy just let him into the car? Was he gonna just sit there until the shift was over? You know what
I'm
I mean?
not too sure. But well,
Or
so
was the
that's what I
car
was
gonna be
wondering.
haunted?
No, I was wondering that. And what I thought was weird too is this next story actually. Because, I was thinking, okay, maybe it has to be your personal property, maybe it doesn't. But this next story actually, in 2015, there was a couple named Rachel and Eli. Now they were camping out in Prescott National Forest. This is out in Arizona. And there's no cell phone service, just tents, a fire, and kind of isolation that makes, horror movies possible. But around midnight, they hear giggling, not adult laughter, like children like giggling, circling their tent. Now they unzip the flap, nobody, just darkness and pines. Suddenly, two figures walk up into the firelight, and it's kids around 6 or 7, pale skin, dressed in old fashioned clothes, like they fell out of the Great Depression. Now, Rachel said that they had asked, "May we warm ourselves by the fire?" But she couldn't respond. She said her throat felt tight, like she physically couldn't speak. Meanwhile, Eli just shook his head. The kids turned and walked into the forest. And as they disappeared, Rachel whispered, "Did you see their eyes?" He said, "No, I didn't want to look." Later that night, the car alarm blared on its own. The fire had gone out, and a single handprint, small, childlike, was on the inside of the fogged windshield. And immediately, this couple left at dawn. And I thought that was weird because, they're not asking to come into a home now. They're asking to warm themselves by the fire.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's almost like they're the angel of death, like a messenger in a way, because they're trying to warm themselves by a fire. What would have happened? They were just like, sure, go and join the fire. Would the fire just erupt, enveloping the couple in a huge forest fire?
Right. And
You see
then
what I
now
mean?
now it goes into a weirder part where they found the handprint inside the truck. So they didn't ask for permission this time to get in the truck, but somehow they were inside the truck. Now,
Yeah.
I know everyone at this point, you're probably thinking, what the hell are these things? And good question. So let's talk theories now. Theories, let's start with theory number 1 actually. Theory number 1 is a popular theory is that the black-eyed children are not ghosts or demons, just beings from another dimension. And they request to be invited in could be some sort of interdimensional contract. Like once they enter your home, your energy gets pulled into their plane of existence, and which might explain why people feel drained or get sick after seeing them. So it's not just fear, it's like a parasitic crossover event. I know we're really into the paranormal, and that's why I really wanted to get into this story, is because some events people believe that is paranormal, some believe that it's actually like extraterrestrial. They think it's like aliens. But theory 2 is actually others say they're demonic messengers. They look like kids because that's the form that we, trust. But the black eyes, that's the giveaway. Some say their eyes reflect their true nature, empty, inhumane, and soul sucking. Inviting them in is like a symbolic consent for possession or attachment.
Something that you deem very comfortable or valuable, pretty much, just to gain your trust.
Right. And then some people, of course, think that it's a lot of bullshit. They think that it's, just a bunch of edgy teens with blackout contacts just messing with people for fun, which sounds cute until you realize, contacts are expensive and nobody's spending that kind of cash just to, chase people off a porch in Ohio.
You can explain the gas station, but the forest one's a real tough one because you're in the middle of nowhere. You tell me that some random kids are gonna come up to you in
Right.
the middle of like nowhere in the forest where you know yourself that this is a camping ground with hardly any signal or any people, you know?
Right. And like I said, I mean, I just thought it was crazy that a lot of people mentioned getting sick after seeing them and, you know, eventually dying. But they do say that, sometimes when I was reading like these stories, these kids will knock for hours. Not just like a few minutes, they'll knock for hours. Back door, front door, windows, all at the same time. And the only thing is don't go to the blinds, don't do anything. Just go to a room with no windows and just stay in there.
That's even creepier.
Yeah. So, I mean, on one case, actually, people said that, they were knocking for 5 or 6 hours. But it's not
They
until like
must
police.
really want to
Yeah,
get in there.
right. But it's not until like police showed up that eventually, they disappeared. But these kids will keep knocking. And I think that's where it gets crazy is it's not like they're in panic. And I feel like if it was actually a kid that was in need of help, right? Like I'm trying to picture this being a kid, 5 or 6 years old. Somehow you get stuck, in the middle of nowhere. You come upon a house and you want, to find your parents. I wouldn't be knocking so calmly, I would be panic knocking for sure.
Open up!
Right.
Let
Let,
me in!
let me in. Right. And I feel like that's where it gets crazy because a lot of the people say that it's very calmly. And I think that's just kind of weird. So that's where I feel like, especially because if this was like a group of kids just trying to mess with somebody, that's a lot of money to invest, right? Old timey clothes, contacts, and just to be knocking on
Hello.
somebody's door for 6 hours.
So calmly. Hello, good sir. Would you please let me into your domicile, please?
Right. And nowadays, like with kids, because some of these stories are recent, right? Nowadays with kids, I feel like they wouldn't be able to like know some of these words, right? Like domicile. I don't know any kid that probably knows that word.
Nah, it's hard. I don't know it, but I'm pretty sure there are some kids that do know it. You know,
Yeah. But
the real geniuses out there in the world.
yeah, and see, I mean, a lot of these stories are just, they're really weird. Once again, I mean, don't open it, don't let them in, just call for help, and please let the police know the situation too. You know, if you do so happen to look into their eyes, take off. Take off. It might be too late, but the least you could do is just take off. And what scares me the most is that almost, I want to say 60% of the cases I was reading up were in Texas.
Which is pretty creepy being from there.
Right. So,
And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I got chills right now listening to this story.
it's definitely weird for sure. But, like I mentioned, the other thing that they say too is that it's always two kids. It's always in twos, never really like a crowd of kids. And it's usually like a boy and a girl, two boys, or just one boy, one girl. But at least it's not like a group of kids.
That'd be creepy. Imagine a bunch of black-eyed children, like a group of six, just coming up to your door. You'd be like, no, shoo, leave.
Yeah. Because even one of the stories I was reading, I guess it's a guy actually, sorry, that was out in, I want to say Michigan. Now, he actually encountered one of these black-eyed children back in 2018, and he refused to let him in. But 3 years later, which is the worst part, during the pandemic, that black-eyed child came back, and same knock, same little girl, same black eyes, only this time she smiled and said, "I remember you." So,
That's creepy because that means
people,
it's been watching him.
right.
That's really scary. Holy
So,
shit.
it's very unexplained. I don't know, what's causing people to come across this, but it typically is in like a rural area, away from everything. So, if you got a lot of neighbors, more than likely you're okay.
It's okay, guys. Sleep with the lights on tonight. You'll be fine. Something
But
wrong with sleeping with the little night light on?
no, not
We
at
got some
all.
scary, spooky stories tonight.
Yeah, but that's it for my story. And that's, of course, the BEK, the Black Eyed Kids, or people also call them Black Eyed Children. Once again, guys, stay safe out there. Don't mess around with this midnight game. Don't mess around with these kids. And if you're unfortunate enough to do both, then I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, you don't want the black-eyed children or the midnight man after you. Don't do it. Don't mess with
Right.
it. Be safe out there, everyone. Please. And if you do, you're just very unlucky. I'm very sorry. Go ahead and email us.
Right. Emails at, of course, let's hear it for spirits at gmail.com. And once again, I wanted to bring up something just real quick. So I know in our last episode we talked about hitting 16 followers. I want to say this one we did hit 27. We're slowly growing. And we actually hit a milestone today. So I was happy to see that. Austin informed me.
It's very exciting news, guys. I do appreciate all the support that we're getting for our episodes. It's really fun doing all these. We're still improving on everything from what we're doing. We'll come up with some different ideas from time to time. Uh, the two stories that we're going to be doing are really interesting to both me and Dylan because we feel like it's a lot more interactive towards everything that's going. It's more fun. I mean, we're drinking. You're bartenders. We want you to have a good time. You know,
And
we
we
want
get
you to
to
feel like
tell
you're sitting at the
stories.
bar right now, and we're just telling
Yeah.
stories to you.
I love telling the stories.
Same.
But once again, guys, if you have any ideas or you want to tell us your own ghost stories, we are thinking about doing, some sort of segment where we read people's, stories, or we just want to hear kind of what's going on in your life. We want to hear, any paranormal experiences that you had, or that you've actually seen. A lot of it is very interesting to us. So if you could let us know, we'd love to hear it.
And don't worry, I'll be posting the email on our bio on Spotify as well as on our YouTube and our Instagram as well. So that way, if you guys do want to send it, it's a lot more easier to find, a lot more easier to click. And I can't wait to hear these stories if you guys do send them. That would be really interesting.
Yeah, of
So,
course. And if you guys could also share our Spotify too, we'd appreciate all the love. Of course, we're trying to grow and we want to tell you guys more stories, and we will continue to tell you guys more stories. But of course, we like to see a little bit feedback. We want to know what you liked about our stories and, better ways that we could read it out to you. We want to make sure that you guys love what you're hearing, and we want to provide you guys, some really good stuff and content. So maybe when you're driving out in the middle of the desert, you'll ignore those black-eyed children. You just drive right past them because you're listening to our podcast.
and maybe you'll run into a friend that wants to play the midnight game, and you'll be like, "Oh, I heard the rules, man. You gotta be careful."
Right? Maybe he didn't have that instruction book, so he doesn't know how to get out of it. You could save him.
You really can. Just be careful out there, you guys. If you guys do run into these children or play the game itself, don't hurt yourself. And if you're just unfortunate, you did the ritual game, and you ran into these kids, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Don't forget to give us that 5-star on Spotify. Follow us wherever you get your haunted content. And remember, if the eyes are black, don't invite them back in.
Please don't let them in.
Yeah, definitely not. But that's
But
all I
anyways,
got.
guys,
You
looks like
want?
we're here done for today. Like I said, I had some. Today was a little bit more spooky on the spookier side. We use a lot more humorous when it comes to it because we are drinking, of course.
Right.
And it was a little bit more spooky today, which was actually pretty cool. I really liked it. I actually got chills from both of the stories, which is really
Yeah.
good. You know,
I'm
I
not gonna
hope you
lie.
all that are listening got chills as well.
I really didn't want to hear the ritual. I was actually really scared. I was like, fuck. I don't want to hear this shit.
It's okay. When I visit you, we'll go ahead and do it together, man. Don't worry.
Pass. Pass.
It'll be me and you and your wife.
Pass. But
I'm kidding. I wouldn't force you to do something like
I'm
that, man.
joking. But yeah. So, you have anything else to say? You want to do the outro? You want to say? You want to start it?
All right, I get the special opportunity to say it, huh?
Yeah. You start it, and we try to say this one more time, on time.
Okay, guys. Well, again, we appreciate the support. Leave a follow, leave a comment, check out our YouTube, check out our little chibi forums talking to each other.
Yeah.
We all have something planned, but we are still have it in the works. We are trying to do something a little bit more different for our videos. So just give us some time. It's gonna be a while. I'll make an announcement when we do finally find what we're looking for. It's gonna be a secret. And again, if you do play the game, or if you do run into these children, be careful, stay safe, and just listen to the rules. Listen to what Dylan said about the black-eyed children. And you'll be fine. That's
Definitely.
it.
Thank you all.
And this is Let's Hear It for Spirits.
Where every
In our little
oh oh
oh
no
uh uh
go
we'll
go
try this one
go
more time. This is Let's Hear It for Spirits, where every ghost,
deserves a toast.
hey, there you go.
Yeah, something like that. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate you.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye bye.